What up, guys? So we are at BMW with Ben, which is somewhere over there, walking around, and we are here to install my new brakes, which luckily I was able to get some from PSI, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, but we are installing the new PSI Dustless pads for the 2NR brakes, which essentially are the same as the carbon ceramics for the M2. So essentially the M2 brakes and my car have the same rotors, calipers, and pads besides the color. Alright, so as I was saying, we have the new brake pads from PSI, which are going to go on this car, that are the 2NR, I believe. So what we have here is the 2NR brakes, which is what comes on the M2 comps, which is also what comes on the M4s with CCBs. And we have the pads for that, and it's going to go, or we're going to put the pads on this. So we're going to show you some of the brake dust that I have with my Ferrodo DS 2500s. So this is the current pad situation, which as you see, pretty dusty. This is only driving for like 2 or 3 days, so pretty dirty, if you can see. Not very clean. And what we'll do is we will definitely get some video of how the pads look after, how the wheel looks after I swap the pads out. So as you see, some dirt there, pretty dirty. We have Ben cleaning, slaving again, like always.
Day is never finished. Master got me working. Someday Master set me free.
Alright, Ben, how clapped out is this car?
She's not that bad. I've definitely seen worse, but at least you do your preventative maintenance, right? Which is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing some preventative maintenance. We're going to be switching to these carbon ceramic pads, or carbon ceramic blend pads, brought to you by PSI. And we're also going to be changing out his inner...
I think they're just ceramic. I don't think they're carbon. But
You're right. Sorry. Gold calipers throws me off. We're also going to be throwing on his track rods here. The reason why we're doing this is because I've done Wang's alignment several times, and over time what happens is, even though this car had a very short life up north, even here in Florida we get a lot of sand, the salt water, things like that, the dirt, it builds up and then you can't adjust this anymore, or it becomes very difficult. So I told him the last time I did his alignment, I was like, if I'm going to do another alignment for you, you have to buy these, because I was tired of struggling to do his alignment. So we're going to be doing the brake pads, we're going to be doing the track rods.
This is how they upcharge you. This is how BMW
Yeah,
upcharge
right?
you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we can't do your alignment anymore, so you need to buy some parts.
Exactly.
Nah, just kidding though. I needed to do them, so went ahead and bought those, and they've been sitting in my closet for like 6 months, and yeah, now we're here
to do them.
Woo, look at all that brake dust. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Whole lot of it.
If you look, these are my pads that I have on it. Ooh, let me not have this on tight. There we go. So if you look here, still got some pad life left, but yeah, we're getting tired of the brake dust. All right, so we're probably not going to talk too much about these. You've already saw on Ken's video exactly what these are, but I try to talk a little bit about what these are while we're doing some B-roll, and give you some details on how to purchase them from PSI, and what exactly, what models they have for these brakes. And Ben might be getting some for his new car too.
so what I'm going to do for weighing is with these brand new pads, I'm going to do what's called chamfering. So I'm going to, if you look at the pad here, all brand new brake pads will have obviously the edge of the brake pad that goes along both sides of it. So when you chamfer it, you're essentially just removing a very small portion of this edge right here on both sides, because what happens is when the brake pad is against the rotor, those edges, as you can see, touch the edges of the rotor itself. So anytime your rotor has a slight lip or a big lip, what happens is it causes that harmonious squeaking and squealing noise that you hear. So Wang does have a very small slight lip on his rotors. It's enough that it can be felt. That's also enough to cause that very loud, annoying squeaking noise when you're coming to a stop. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to chamfer the new pads, all of them, both the front and the rear, just so he won't have to worry about that squeaking and squealing noise when he comes to a stop.
Now, obviously, I've done a bunch of brake pad changes, whatever, before, and you've seen it on the channel, but PSI having the new pads, and I told them I would definitely make a video. I want to make sure I could get some B-roll for you guys of the pads, talk about it a little bit more, and I'm really discouraged from filming whenever whenever I'm working on the car. So there's a lot of times where I'll work on the car, I won't film it, etc. It's also because it takes twice as long to work on your car when you film. So, yeah.
He's not lying.
Also, if you look at the original pads that I had, you'll notice that it's still got a lot of life left. This is the new one. That's the old one. So, still have a lot of life left. Except these are just super dusty. So for dailying, it sort of sucks because I drive maybe half a day and my wheels are filthy. If you notice, this has 2 slots in it. This has the one. I'm not sure the significance of that, and maybe I can have Sean tell me if there is a reason for the 2 slots on the pad versus the 1. The only thing that I could say is technically this has more friction, so maybe more stopping force, but that's like minimal, so I doubt that would make a difference. But I do know the material is more aggressive on this pad, which would technically give you better stopping power, so yeah. Now, if you ever have these pads installed and you're questioning if they actually did get installed or not, they're very bright silver, and you should be able to see them behind your gigantic ass caliper. I think I just blew Ben's mind.
It did. It did.
Ben, why is your mind blown right now?
I just never seen a spacer like that where the spacer is I've never seen it designed this way where the spacer encompasses the hub as well on a 5mm spacer.
Yeah, so typically 5 mils, they're not thick enough to have like the space, like the, what's it called, the hub-centric side of it.
Yeah.
So what they did is they made it into a cap, so that way it still fits the BMW specifications of minimum hub depth, while adding a 5 mil spacer, which is crazy.
Shout out Turner Motorsports.
Yeah. But if you see here, it obviously covers where the hub-centric is, which is pretty cool. So if you ever need a 5 mil spacer, definitely check out the Turner Motorsports hub-centric 5 mil spacers. I think they also have a 3 mil, which is pretty cool, and a 7 mil, so pretty interesting. All right, so not sure if this is intentional or not, but on the rear pads, you don't have the slot for the pad sensors. So both sides, if you want to shine some light there, none of them have it, which was interesting. I'll probably ask Sean about it, but it was just something that we were noticing and found it interesting. It doesn't really matter because I sort of just tuck these away anyways. I don't really bother with the pad sensors, but yeah, something very interesting when you're installing these.
Alright, so there is a number of things I forgot to mention in the video, and I noticed it as I was editing. So there's a couple things that I want to make sure I bring up about the pads themselves. And one is the compound. It's SP1. The construction is semi-metallic. It's a mechanical Burr type. I don't really know what that means, but for those of you that are really technical, you probably will. For you track enthusiasts, so these probably aren't the perfect solution for you guys, but those should be quite all right for the occasional track guys. It's really easy on the discs, and it doesn't generate a ton of heat to the caliper. So the dust isn't corrosive, and it's easy, very, very easy to wipe down, especially when they get dirty. The whole design of the pad is for low noise, low dust, and really for you to enjoy your awesome wheels in the way that they need to look, you know, without them being dirty. So with my wheels that I just got, I wanted to make sure I kept them clean as much as I could, and these pads do that. So I would also like to thank Sean at PSI. He was kind enough to get me these pads, and mine are a prototype set. So like I mentioned before in the video, that the little nubs for the rear brake sensors were not there, but on the current editions or current versions of them that you buy from Sean or PSI, they will be there.
All right, so huge shout out for Ben for helping me out with the pads. Ooh, dark. Okay, there we go. Huge shout out to Ben for helping me out. I will drive the car for some extended periods of time, and then we'll say determine if the pads are worth getting for you guys, and we'll show you the results.
Many months later.
All right, what up guys? It's been a while since I've installed the pads, but we need to show you, after a month of not washing them, what they look like. So this is about a month's worth of rain, grit, grime, etc. I wanted to make sure I got the wheels nice and dirty so you guys could really see what they look like when they're dirty. So as you see here, we have a lot of brake dust. I have the big pads on the front, so these are probably going to be the dirtiest they'll be. And then the rears with the smaller pad, it's not as dirty, obviously, but it's still got a little dust on it. So if we take our finger here, wipe it, so about that much dirt we got there. And then you zoom in, you'll see that nice clean spot. But we got Caleb over here, and he is about to give the car a wash, and we'll see how much better these look.
So Caleb has his helper, and just like that, you already see it's getting really clean. That's just a spray, and it's already shiny. The pads are super easy to clean. Also, thankfully, the wheels are coated. Caleb did that a while back, so it makes it a lot easier. But this pad material is non-harsh, so it should come off pretty easily.
Got this man slaving.
All right, so this is a wheel fully clean, not dry yet, but you can tell it's substantially cleaner. But Caleb, don't you like my new pads and brakes and everything?
I appreciate you, dude. It means a lot, man. Thank you so much.
So, you always know, as long as you're interested in the pads, be sure to click the link below to get your set of these PSI Dustless pads and get them on your car for the G8X, F8X. Maybe they'll come out with some other versions for other cars, but G8X and F8X will be listed down below. in the description, and be sure to get your set now. I would also like to mention that I really do like these pads. They are very, very, very dust free. Now, that being said, they're not completely dust free. So one of the things that I noticed about these pads being silver is the dust is more like whitish. So I think that sort of hides a lot of the dust also. But compared to your typical pads, which have a dark dust that will show up way more than this lighter dust or color, I highly recommend, and this is something that you should get, especially if you're dailying your car, dailying your G8X or your F8X. I 100% recommend, and it is something that everyone should have on their BMW.